Good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mercury Virtual. I hope you are doing good. Today, I'm going to continue with the same module, that is a web application development, but with the new session, that is session number 14, that is a component, and this is the last session of this module. But first of all, let's begin with the previous class session, which we have covered in the last class, that is session number 13, that is the distributed processing. So in the last class, we have processed with the distributed processing, that is how to process the, we can say the data or the network, or we can the computer within a network, that is a distributed processing. That means a distributed or the same task is distributed among the various computers over a network, that is a distributed process. So let's start with this distributed processing that we have covered in the last class. So whenever we want to share some network, where we want to share some data that is represented by the distributed processing, and there are two approaches, main approaches that is available in this distributed processing, that is the client-server approach and the client-server approach and the hierarchical approach. That means in a client server, there is a client that requests for the services from the server, and server provides the services to the client. So we have discussed about the distributed system, that is how to distribute the system, or what are the various categories by which we can distribute the system. And there are two approaches that we have stated about, that is the client-side approaching or client-side processing that is used at the client side. So simply client is a computer or client is a person that is used to avail the services from the server, that is known as the client-side scripting. And there is a JavaScript that is also used as the first client-side technology that is available. Later on, alternative specialized tools for the client-side processing have been developed. So first of all, there is a Java applet that is available for the client-side technologies. Then there is an alternative specialized tool that is used for the client-side processing. So JavaScript is a tool for the client-side processing, which today can be used in connection with the most popular browser software. JavaScript is one of the tools that is used for the client-side processing, and that is used in connection with the most of the popular browser software. And Macromedia has also become a very popular in nowadays for the client-side processing, and it is combined with the cold fusion by means of the remote processing. So that is combined with the cold fusion by means of the remote processing that provides the interface between the flash processing on the server side, flash processing on the client side, and cold fusion on the server side. So remote processing is nothing but an interface that provides or that is available between the client side and the server side. So that means it provides an interface, it provides a mediator between the flash processing and the cold fusion. Then there is a JavaScript. What is a JavaScript that is used? What is a JavaScript that is combined with the CFMX for the client-side processing? And JavaScript scripts can be embedded in CFML template. So that is available in the CFML template and sent as a part of the HTML response to a requesting client. So whatever the client, whatever the request that is available, that request will be accepted as a part of the HTML response to a requesting client. And most of the major browsers are able to interpret and execute the JavaScript code. So whatever the JavaScript code, whatever the browsers that are able to interpret and execute the JavaScript code. And JavaScript is a scripting language that is similar to the CF script already discussed. That is a scripting language that is used as a JavaScript, that is used as a CF scripts. And in contrast to the CF script, which is interpreted on the server side, JavaScript is executed on the client side. So CS script is executed or interpreted on the server side, and the JavaScript is executed on the client side. So there are two sides, the server and the client. Server side is interpreted, or CS script is interpreted on the server side, and the JavaScript is executed on the client side. And JavaScript code can be included in the CFMX template that is surrounded by the code, by the tag that is a script language equals to JavaScript. So this is one of the tag that is available, that is a script language equals to JavaScript, type equals to JavaScript, and script will be closed. This is the opening of the script, this is the closing of the script. The application domain of JavaScript is wide. So whatever the application domain that is available, that is wide. And most popular is probably use of the technology for validating or validity checking of the answers to form request before the form is submitted. So before the form is submitted, there is a usage, there is a validity checking of the answer that is required before the form is submitted to the answers. And client-side checking saves the transmitting, server-side checking a possible a new request to the client because of the invalid answers. Now we shall consider the another application that is used with another application, that is a session test of this course have been developed as a server-side applications. The example application we shall illustrate how the test form can be designed to be checked by their client computer by embedding a JavaScript in the .cfm file that is embedded with the .cfm file that is checked by the JavaScript in the CFM file. As an example shortcut, we call the form template for index.cfm in the example. This is one of the syntax that we have discussed, that is that form.cfm that contains three fields, or that contains four columns, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. That means the reply will come 3. That means that this code will be executed, that is document.write center font color equals to red. This is the if statement that is selected. If statement that is selected if these are the four if that is available in this one. Then the script will be closed over here. Then the CF output will be closed over here. The next is the font color that is blue. The next to tag that question 7 from session 18. The next two will be closed. Font will be closed over here. The form with the question and the answer is contained in the lines 11. This is available with the line 11. Then 19. It differs in the two respects from the server side template from used in the test. First, this form has no input tag with type equals to submit because it should not be submitted to the server. That is used with the on-click event attribute which transfer to the control, which transfer the control to the JavaScript function evaluate. So that is transferred with the JavaScript. That is also available with lines 4 to the 8. JavaScript function evaluate is surrounded by the script function that is used in the nested, that is the CF output. There is a script language that is available, that is a part of the JavaScript. The next is the Flash and the action script. So Flash is also become technology for developing the animations on the net. So Flash is nothing but the image editing used for the image editing that is part of the tool that is available as a part of the animated movie. So this was the technology for developing the animations on the net. However, the last version of Flash MX, that is a scripting language action script, that is the last version of Flash MX. So what is the last language? That is scripting language action script. Then there is a remoting or Flash remoting that provides an interface between these client server and the between the client side and the server side. And developing such application requires the Flash MX, that is installation of Flash remoting, and the Cold Fusion MX on the developer counter. And running the developed and the tested application does not require more than any Cold Fusion application. To accept and run a Flash application, the client computer must have a Flash reader. So there is a Flash reader that is available free of cost, that is installed on the user's computer, that is known as the client's computer. And the scripting language that is known as action script, such as the JavaScript and the CF scripts. Now, what is the difference between the JavaScript and the CF script? The CF script is executed on the server side and the JavaScript is executed on the client side. And there are three languages that is deviated from the standard that are known as the various similarities. So there are various similarities between JavaScript and the CF script. The only difference is the syntax difference. Everything is same, like looping is same, if loop, else loop, do while everything is same, but the difference is that in their syntax. And the final Flash result is known as the movie. The final result that is available, that is final result of the Flash, that is a movie, that is .swf file, which is generated from a Flash document, that is a FLA. And action script is also used as a sequence of the graphical frame that is connected to the script. This is one of the example that that is available for the Macromedia Flash. And this scenario is again the session test of the course, and there is an index.cfm page that is used to call the Flash application. So there is a Flash application which is loaded down to the computer. And during the loading process, which starts by an .html page, the existence of Flash reader is checked, and if negative, also loaded before the movie. So that is loaded before the movie. That is a part of the Flash application. So this is the coding for the index.cfm. Then there is a center tag, then there is the h3 tag, that is the heading number 3 tag, then font color equals to blue, then Flash demonstration. That means it is available in the h3, and what is the h3? That is a Flash demonstration. Then P tag, do you want to take the session test? If yes, that is available in the P tag, that is available in the paragraph tag. Then there is an anchor tag. Again, there is a AHREF, that is the anchor hypertext reference. That means the linking will be available on the yes. If the person click on the yes, then it directly jump to the question.html. So the CFML template returns the question.html and attach flash movie file question.swf containing the flash application to the requesting client. And the flash movie contains a sequence of frames which are played subject to the control of the script. So that is played as a control of the script, that is a flash movie, that also included in the SWF file. And in this example, there are 5 frames. There are 5 frames that is available in this example, that is a flash movie example. Now, what are the various 5 frames? One is the init, then there is a continue, then there is a correct, incorrect, and at last there is a end function. So one is the initialization, that is the init. Then there is a continue, that is continuation of the series, continuation of the data. Then there is a correct function, incorrect function, and the end function. And these are the various buttons that is used with this one. That is question number 5 from the session number 13. An attached script that directs the player through the continue function. So there are 2 radio buttons in this one. That is, do you want to continue? If yes, then separate script will be encoded, and if no, then the separate code will be encoded. So it depends on your question, or it depends on your answer. The action script code connected to the init frame looks like this. So this is the initialization part. There is a variable sum, then stop, then answer one dot on release, that is equals to the function. Then go to and stop, incorrect. Then answer two dot on release equals to function. Then go to and stop, correct. Then answer three dot on release equals to function. Then go to and stop, incorrect. So these are the various scripts that is used as a part of the action script code. That is the initialization part. And line 1 is the action script comment, while in line a variable known as a sum is defined, then the actions are stopped until an event occurs. So until an event occurs, the actions are stopped. And the continue overlay frame is passed and activated when the playhead is moved to either of the 2 frames mentioned above. This is the continue function, then there is a stop, then yes button dot on release equals to function. That is a yes button dot on release equals to function. Then go to and stop, that init function. Then go to and stop end function. Now let's move to the today's session. So that is session number 14, that is the components. That is how the components are formed, or what are the various scenarios by which the components are formed. So first is CFMX component technology. That is, what is the component technology, or how the components are used, that is the component technology. So cold fusion component is another approach to systemizing the code for convenient future reuse by the developer or for distribution to a developer. See, if I'm talking about the cold fusion component, that is another approach, that is another important approach that is used to systemizing the code for convenient future reuse. That means if I want to reuse the same component again and again, like the reusing code that you discussed in session number 12, that is another approach to systemizing the code for convenient future reuse by the developer for distribution to other developers. The component feature has some of the object-oriented characteristics. So whatever the component feature that is available, that has some object-oriented characteristics, but is not considered as a true object-oriented programming. So whatever the component that is available for the CFMX, that is a part of the object-oriented, but not whole as a part of the object-oriented. In CFMX, component serves also as an interface to other technologies. So whatever the components, whatever the data that is available, so components serve also as an interface to other technologies such as Flash and the web services. A component usually contains a set of the functions known as a method. So component contains a set of the functions. There are various functions that is a part of the component. So there are various functions, there are various set of the function that is a part of the component. So that usually contains a set of the function that is also known as a method. and very similar to the UDF library file. That means this is a library that contains various fields. In the same way, this is a library that contains various components, that contains various parts, that is a part of the UDF or UDF library file. For the application developer, the components are hiding the details of the code. So whatever component that is available, that hiding the details of the code and focusing on the functionality. That focus on the functionality, that focus on the details of the code for the application development. The component technology permits the use of all CFMX stack and the function. So if there is a component technology that is available that permits the use of each and every one, that permits the use of all CFMX stacks and the functions, that can access the databases, protocol, forum system and code, which makes the technology extremely flexible. So there is a flexible technology that is used for the protocol, that is used for the forum systems, and there is a forum code. This is a CFMX component technology. That is a CFMX component technology that is a part of the CFMX. That is a cold fusion component. That is the approach for the systemizing the code for the future reuse or the development. And for the application developer, so if I'm talking about the application developer, the components are hiding the details. So for the application developer, what are the components that are hiding the details of the code and focusing on the functionality? Now, component technology permits the use of all CFMX tags and the functions. So whatever the tags, whatever the function that is available, that is a part of the CFMX tags and the functions that can access the databases, protocol, forum system and code, which makes the technology extremely flexible. That is used to make the code that is extremely flexible, that is used to make the foreign exchange, foreign system and the code that is flexible in the sense they can access the code for the protocol for the foreign systems. The next is authorization example. That is next part, that is authorization example. In session number 7, this is session number 15 or 14, we have discussed about the authorization and the authentication in session number 7 also. It was pointed out that authorization and authentication were processes used in many applications for security reasons. So these are the two important concepts in respect of the security. That means authorization and the authentication. They are used in many applications for security reasons. If authorization, that is providing users with credential for entering the application. So if I'm talking about the authorization, that is providing the users with credentials for entering the application that can be designed in a way which permits the code to be reused. That is providing the users with credentials for entering the application that can be designed in a way which permits the code to be reused. That means the same code could be reused again and again. That is a part of the credential. That is a part of the credential for entering the application. We can save ourselves for future redesign of the same task for each application. So we can also save ourselves, we can also save the data for the future redesign. So whenever we are doing the future redesign of the data, that is the same task is used for the redesign of the same task for each application. So to illustrate the principles of CMMX components, we shall design a simple application for generating unique access codes as a component, which can easily be embedded into the applications of an organization. So whenever we are talking about the applications of the principles of the CFMX components, so we shall design a simple application for generating unique access codes. So there's a simple application that is a unique access codes that is also a category, that is also a part that can be embedded into the applications of an organization. Now, what are the basic requirements to the access code that are as follows? Now, basic requirements are the access code should have a large number of possible values compared with those. So whatever the components, whatever the data that is available, that is used with the large number of possible values. So the access codes should have a large number of possible values that compared with those that are used. The access code should be designed or should be assigned randomly to the user. So first of all, it have a large number of possible values that should contain or that should contain in the access code, and the access code should be assigned randomly to the user. So that should be assigned randomly to the user, and the access code should be unique, that is not assigned to more than one user. So first part is access code should have a large number of possible values. Then second part, access code should be assigned randomly to the user. then the access code should be unique, that is not assigned to more than users, that is not assigned to more than one user, that is unique to each and every one. An access code alone is not very safe precaution against the intruder. So that is not that I'm using the access code, that is I'm safe from the hackers, intruder. No, but as long as the system does not contain sensitive personal or economic information of importance, a simple access code can be satisfactory. So whatever the simple code, whatever the data that is available, so a simple access code can be satisfactory. If you want higher security levels, consider to combine the access codes with, for example, the user's email address. So if you want the higher security levels, then consider to combine the access codes with, for example, the user's email address that is available with the access code, then the date of birth, that is the birthplace, etc. That is the access code that is used or not used as a safe precautions. So there are three basic requirements of the access code, that it contains a large number of possible values, then it is a unique, and they are assigned randomly to the user. That is, there is no hard and fast rule that the first number is given first. No. It is randomly assigned with to the user, that is the access code. The next is component for generating the unique random number. That is, what are the various components that is used for generating the unique random numbers. So we investigate that the component to be developed should be called from an application template. So whatever the template, whatever the application that is available, that should be developed, that should be called from an application template to which the access code is supplied. That means the access code is supplied and saved in a database for future authentication. So whatever the authentication, whatever the data that is available, that is a part of the future authentication. In our session example, the application is substituted by a single template which calls on a component. So whatever the token number, whatever the component that is available as a single template which calls on a component and displays an unused access code as requested. So if there is an unused access code that is required, that is displayed as the unused access code that is requested as per the client. Then figure number 1 illustrates the structure of a component with 4 functions. There are 4 functions that is available with these 4 methods. Now what are the 4 methods that is available? That is the main function, then there is a retrieve function, then there is a generate function, then there is a check function. These are the main 4 functions that is available. One is a CF object, then there is a retrieve, then there is a generate, then there is a check function. All right. A main function controls the process. So what is the role of the main function? That controls the process that is used in this one. So that main function controls the process. It can be compared with the main procedure of a traditional computer program. In addition, 3 more functions are included in the components. In addition to these, 3 more functions are included in the component. The 4 functions of the component are, what are the 4 functions? That is the main function, retrieve function, generate function, and the check functions. These are the 4 functions that is used with this one, that controls the processing within a component and returns the result to the calling template. Then retrieve function, then generate function, then check function. And the component is invoked from a template, that is the access node.cfm. That is retrieved from that is invoked from the template. What is the template name that is available? That is the access node.cfm. And this template plays the role of an application needing the processing of the component. So whatever the processing technique, whatever the data that is available, that is a part of the processing of the component. And for the purpose of demonstration, this template displays a list of the most recently generated access number. So whatever the access number that is generated with the most recent numbers, and the requested new numbers are this one. That is the access node.cfm. Then there is a cf invoke. Now the component is the access component. Then the method equals to main. Then return variable equals to access number. Then cf invoke will be closed. Then center. Then h2. Then font color is this one. Then a vacant access code or vacant access number is that is available within the h2 tag. And the cf output will be access. Now you are giving the access number as a number, that is the access number, then this is closed and center will be closed. Every data or every output is available within the center tag, that is every data is available within the center of the web page. And this is a CF invoke, that is This is a CF invoke that is used in the line number 2 that use the function that is a main function. Now method is equals to main, and the return variable, or what is the return value that is available, that is return value is the access number. Now this is the result from the access number. Now the vacant access number is 34756. This is, for example, the what is the access number that is generated, that is what is the unique access number, that is the 34756. And components itself is displayed below, and note that the file extension .cfc used for identifying the component file. That is, the CFC is used for identifying the component files, and this is a, we can say, the this is the coding that is used for the access components. This is the full-fledged coding that is used for the access components. Now this is the coding. In this we are using the variable that is a use number that contains or that is going to retrieve the value of the retrieve, that is a retrieve function that is getting the retrieve function. Uh, that is used to getting the retrieve function. In this retrieve function, or the accept number is given as a 0 value. Then there is a CF loop, that is a looping condition will be used. There is a CF loop, that is a cold fusion loop. Now the condition is given as a accept number that is equals to the 0. So the accept number is given as a 0, or the, we can say, the accept number that is given is that is equals to the 0. Then CF set, then access number equals to generate. So there is a generate function that is used with this one, that is a hash. Then there is a generate function that is used for the accepting the value, that is used for accepting the access number. And this is a CF set, that is the access number that is equals to the number of check, that is access number comma use number. Whatever the access number, whatever the use number that is used to get the access number details, use number details. Then the CF loop will be closed. That means it is closed for getting the CF loop functions. Then this is the return. What is the returning? That is access number will be returned. Then there's a retrieve function that is available, and there is a CF function that hint equals to retrieve list of the use number. So whatever the list of the use number that is used, that is getting the retrieve list of the use number, then the name equals to retrieve. So whatever the data, whatever the retrieve function that is available, that is retrieve as a part of the retrieve function. Then CF if not file exists. So if the file is not exists, that is session path, session 12 example component, if this is not exist, then that use number equals to 10009999. That is if the use number is given as this one, this is used for use number. Then there is a CF file action. What is the action? That is the right action will be available. Then there is a file, then session path. So this is a file, that's a session path. Then there is a session, then there is a session 12, then use number.txt. That is the use number.txt will be used for the file number for the file generation. Then the function will be closed over here, and this is the coding for the generate function. Again, that generates a random number in the interval. What is the interval that is given? That is the 1000 That makes a name as a generate. Then CF set, then temp equals to randomize. There is a randomize function that is used that contains the second function that is contains the now function. Then there is a CF set, then access number equals to rand range. That means the access number is given to the random range. What is the random range that is available? That is the 10,000, and there is a 99,999. Then there is a CF return, then there is the access number, and the CF function will be closed over here. Then CF function, then hint equals to, what is the hint? Checks whether the generated number has not been used, save and return it, or has been used and return to the generator. That means check whether the number has been returned already, or whether the number has been used, save and return it, or it has been used and returned to the generator. So this is the same line that is available with, this is the hint that is available with this one, and the name is given as a check. Then there is a CF argument, the name equals to access number, type equals to numeric, required equals to true. This is the argument that is given as a name. Now what is the name or what is the argument that is given? The name is given as an access number, then the type is given as a numeric, then the required is equals to true. That means this is the required data. Then CF argument, the name equals to use number, then type equals to any, then required equals to true. That means these are the required number, these are the argument names that is available with the access number or the use number, and that is given as a type, that is any or numeric, then required equals to true. Then there is the CF set, then accept number equals to 1. That is the accept number that is given as a 1. Then CF loop, then index equals to I, list equals to use number, then delimiter equals to comma. That means index is given as a I, then list is given as a use number, then delimiter is given as a comma. What is the delimiter? That is the separator is given as a. Then CF if, that is the CF if will be used, that is a cold fusion if, that is a cold fusion, that is a cold fusion if, that is a cold fusion if. Then there is a CF argument name that is given as access number, then type is given as numeric, then required is true. Then CF argument name equals to use number, then type equals to any, then required is given as a true. Then CF set, then accept number equals to 1. So that is given as accept number, that is equals to the 1. Then CF loop, then index equals to I, list equals to use number, then delimiter equals to comma. That means given is the delimiter as a comma. Then there is a CF if function that is also used, that is a CF if, that is equals to the access number. So if it is equal to the access number, so if it is given it is equal to the access number, then CF set accept number equals to 0. That is accept number is given as a 0. Then CF break, then CF if close, then CF loop will be closed. Then CF if accept number is equals to 1, then CF set use number equals to list append use number access number. Then CF file, the next file, then file equals to session path, that is a session 12, then CF if will be closed. Then CF return, that is a return or what is the, that is a return number will be closed, or the accept number will be closed as a return part. Then there is a CF function that is closed, and there is a CF component that is closed over here. Now, this is the theory of this coding, that is the theory of this code, that the function retrieve test is a file. Now, the function retrieve test is a file use number.txt exists and create the file if not. So what is the role of the retrieve function? First of all, it creates the user number or the use number.txt. If there is a file that exists as a use number.txt, then it's okay. Otherwise, if the use number.txt is not available. And then next function or the next role of this function is to retrieve the files with all previously used numbers. So the function then retrieves the file with all previously used numbers and store it in a result name use number. So that's stored in the result that is named as a use number, which is returned to the main function. That means it is available in the list function that is named as a use number, which is returned to the main function. And function generate is very simple. It generates a number. It generates an access number between 1000 or 10,000 and the 99,999. It means any number that is generated between the 10,000 and the 99,999, and return the number to the main function. And the function that is a check, then use number access number is known, and check the random number value, that is the access number, against the value in the list of the used numbers. If the number is unused, the check function saves the updated list of the used numbers and returns accept number with the value 1. So that accepts the return number or accept number with the value 1, and the main will be able to return to the access number to the template, which is known as a component, that is the access number that is used for the line 7 to the 10, that is repeated again and again because this is the looping that is used. And note that the path to the component in the file tag is assumed specified in the application.cf. That is also assumed as the file tag, that is assumed is application.cf. In this example, a small index.cfm template is included to start the. Now the next part is introception. That is, what is the introception, how it is. Today's session, and in the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class, I'm going to take your next topic, and the next session, that is session number 15, that is the web services, and the last topic that is the introception, right? So